Am I the asshole for telling my wife I would open a separate account if she didn't get our money back? I 39M have been married to my wife 36F for 12 years. We have no children, but we do have a cat and a dog who we consider to be our children. My wife has a sister, M, 37F, who has made very poor financial choices and is now heavily in debt. She refuses to get a job and instead jumps from an MLM or get-rich-quick scam to the next, sponging off of relatives to make ends meet. Both me and my wife work full-time. We each have separate accounts that we use for our fun money for hobbies or whatever we want. We earn almost the same amount of money, with me being a little higher, so I contribute 60% and she contributes 40% to make things fair, and also so we each have about the same amount of fun money. We also have a joint checking and savings account that we use for the household bills and household emergency fund, like when the water heater flooded the basement in the middle of the night. Both of us have access to the joint accounts, and if we need to use it, it is never an issue, so long as we make sure to tell the other that we used funds from those accounts. As I was going through the statements for our joint household account, I noticed that there was approximately $2,000 missing from the joint savings account. I noticed that they were all Venmo transfers to her sister. When my wife came home from work, I asked what this was about, and she told me that her sister needed money to start her own business. My wife sat me down and explained to me that her sister joined yet another freaking pyramid scheme, this time selling fake nails and makeup. My wife said that she has the potential to earn 6 figures a month, and if that was true. My wife also said that she too was going to join her sister selling these products, and if she made enough would quit her job and sell them full-time with her sister. I told my wife that she either needs to get that money back from her sister or I would open a new account for my share of the household expenses and transfer it to that account when it was time to pay bills. My wife is upset with me and does not understand why I am being so unsupportive. I told my wife that not only did she take money and not tell me about it, she invested it into something without even considering how I would feel about it. My sil called me last night and said that I was a raging asshole and a control freak and that I was stopping my wife from using her full potential. I told my sil that I would support my wife in anything she chooses to do, as long as it would not cause financial harm to our family. My wife and sil are both pissed at me and now I feel like an ass. Am I the asshole for telling my wife to get the money back? Not the asshole. You don't secretly take money from a joint account. You ask as it's family money. I'd separate accounts. Your wife is intent on joining a pyramid scheme and will end up losing thousands. Statistically, this is the most likely outcome of pyramid schemes, MLMs. Protect your assets before that happens. Edit. I would also make it clear to your wife that any money spent on her harebrained pyramid scheme needs to come out of her fun money, not the household bills money. Not the asshole. Had she spent her own fun money, that would be one thing. She can do whatever she wants with that. She can either get that money back from her sister or use her discretionary income to top up the account, but she cannot make unilateral decisions about family funds without your approval. Unless she's cool with you literally setting $2,000 on fire in front of her because you felt like it. Not the asshole. Your wife is ridiculously gullible. Not the asshole. But you know you're not getting that money back. Your wife seems to be getting sucked into the MLM void. They are very good at targeting women and encouraging them to cut off the haters who won't support them in their girl boss endeavor. Taking $2,000 out of the joint account is not okay. That's a significant amount of money and should be discussed before being spent. You'll need to tread carefully with your wife though. If she's been sucked in too far to the MLM life, it'll be very hard for her to break out. Not the asshole. Your wife took a large sum of money without discussing it with you first. My guess is that if she had told you about this, you would have refused, so she did it behind your back. Being married is a partnership. That means that all financial matters need to be agreed upon by both parties, especially when it comes to investing or spending joint funds. Not the asshole. Do it now before she bleeds you dry. Not the asshole. If Op's wife wanted to shore up her sister, God knows why, as they say past performance is the best indicator of future behavior and giving money to the sister is as good as pouring it down the drain, she should have used her own money, certainly not joint finances. The missus knew what the response would be, which is why she didn't discuss pillaging the emergency fund with the hubby. I'd never have any joint money again, too right I'd open my own account. In fact, this kind of behavior is a deal breaker for me. It's not just the theft of joint money, the missus has just shown she can't be trusted. OMG, these MLMs are sucking people in. I think half of the women I'm friends with on Facebook are peddling something. And they all must have a good pitch because I don't know anyone that does it for long, but they all get into it and call it an amazing business opportunity. 6 figures a month, huh? Protect your money, dude. And please tell your wife not to quit her real job that actually pays her versus this new career that she pays. Tell her you support her, but that you would like to keep track of the money for 6 months and see if she can even get out of the red. Fucking nails, pink drinks, face cream, makeup, blah blah. It's like an epidemic. OMG. Not the asshole, at all. Taking out that this is an MLM, a spouse shouldn't loan a chunk of money or invest without consulting the other. Not the asshole, regardless of what it was for, she should have checked with you before using money from your joint account. That's, well, the whole point of a joint account. She also has her own separate account, why didn't she use it? The fact that it was for a pyramid scheme is a separate but also important issue. I'm surprised that your wife, after seeing her sister fall for so many scams, would suddenly decide to follow her for this one. Has anything significant happened to her recently? Anyway, it absolutely needs to be addressed, or she could very well blow through all of your money just like her sister did. Not the asshole. A loan to her sister isn't a basic expense, it's a personal choice she made and it should have come out of her personal money that's used for her personal fun expenses. And if your wife thinks that the new scheme is actually logic and not another scam, I'd have a very serious talk with her. If she's unhappy with her job, she can look for a change of career, but that doesn't mean throwing away savings because she simply doesn't want to work anymore or she wants to copy her sister's lifestyle, which has been working so far because she keeps leeching off other people. Not the asshole. Your wife made a major financial decision using both of your money without discussing it with you. She depleted your household savings while simultaneously planning to change her source of income to something extremely unstable, thereby jeopardizing the financial security of your shared household, again with no discussion. That is not how things work in a partnership. Just wanted to add one more not the asshole by a mile for when you show this thread to your wife. Also, whichever pyramid scheme it is, search their name in anti-MLM and pick up the income disclosure statements. Not the asshole, your wife is falling down a slippery slope. MLMs are cult-like in that they can cause people to become separated from reality and lose relationships with the people who care about them. You have a boundary, respect issue with regard to the money, for sure, but I also think you've got much bigger hurdles ahead if your wife really believes this stuff. Not the asshole. That line about stopping your wife from using her full potential is full-on MLM Kool-Aid guzzling. You are doing the right thing by insisting that your jointly held money does not go into a project that can have serious financial blowback for your wife, Sil, and the family in general. Not the asshole. Support wife's sister in not making poor choices, not financially. If your wife is dumb enough to join an obvious pyramid scheme and take $2,000 out of an account without discussion, time to think about divorce. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, that was a breach of trust on her part. And how does she not see that her sister is involved in a scheme? And now she wants to get in on it? There is no way anyone makes 6 figures a month selling fake nails and makeup except the owners of major retail companies. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. That she's considering quitting her job for this nonsense is alarming. Your wife has proven herself to be irresponsible and, quite frankly, stupid when it comes to money, and she has terrible judgment. I wouldn't trust her with my money after pulling something so underhanded and for such a bad reason. But good luck sorting that mess out. Not the asshole. If your wife wants to lend money to her sister, then she should use her money, not the house money. We all have relatives like your sister-in-law and know that when you give them money like this, the money is usually considered gone, as odds are you won't ever see it again. Not the asshole at all, but you probably need to find a calm environment to sit down with your wife and explain your concerns about MLMs. Either they are ignorant of the issues, or they have discounted them. Those fictional return numbers are really enticing, and to some people that makes it seem like it's worth the gamble. Pointing out that even if by some miracle this particular MLM turns out to be the least scammy one of them all, even then they are gambling with your money. Perhaps that might help them see the light. Get a post-nup that splits all Marshall assets earned up until the day before the $2,000 transfers and then has you each keeping your own separately titled assets going forward. If she really believes this will earn her 6 figures a month, she should be thrilled to sign it, as it will stop you from claiming half of her future profits. If she wants to spend thousands on investments you don't support, then this is the protection you need to stay in the marriage while she does that. Not the asshole she could make $100,000 plus a month selling fake press on nails? Is she hearing herself? Not the asshole. Your wife violated your trust with this, and it sounds like she's getting hypnotized by the sales pitches that Scylla's passing on to her. Not the asshole. Any sane person should know better than to give away that kind of money without telling their so. What she did broke a trust between you. My wife said that she has the potential to earn 6 figures a month. No. Your wife basically lied, went behind your back and took $2,000 from your household expenses fund for a pyramid scheme. Nope, no way. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your wife had no right to take your savings money and give it to your sister. If she really wants to help her out, she could use her own fun money and nothing else. Not the asshole. This was not your bill to pay and was most definitely not an emergency. If anything, she should have used her fun money since this was only her choice. I am confused why your wife got money from the joint account to help her sister instead of using her own money. The fact she didn't even tell you is also weird since you'd eventually find out anyway. Bottom line, I don't think you'll get that money back, but I would make it 100% clear that if she wants to help her sister or throw money down the drain MLM, then she needs to do it exclusively with her own funds. If you think you cannot trust her, separate the accounts. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Separate them finances. Look up the name of the MLM and find articles online about what a scam it is. It's likely your wife has been brainwashed by her sister and doesn't realize quite how much money almost every participant loses in pyramid schemes. Besides all the anti-MLM comments below, most of these markets are saturated. Get your wife to ask around her friends and colleagues, see how long it takes to get invited to a party for this product. Look on Kijiji for people selling off their stock. Maybe our anti-MLM can help her find some statistics. Some years ago, candles were the thing, Party Light I think it was called. My neighbor got into it. I thought, oh that's fun, I'll host a party, which I did, then I kinda felt obligated to go on buying from her, then I got annoyed and stopped completely, as did the sellers, when I was invited to 5 Party Light parties in the space of a couple of months, all from people just getting into it. Not the asshole. MLMs are literally the worst. Not the asshole. MLMs and all loans for them fall under fun money since those companies are just hobbies for bored people and not a real way to make money. Rip to your wife's bank account and probably half her friendships. Not the asshole. It's one thing to spot someone $50, $100 but $2,000? No. Just no. My husband is the sole earner for our household and asked me if he could spend $200 on a gift for his best friend a few months ago. Even then I was like, you don't need my permission, it's our account. He said yeah, but it's the principle of the matter, we should make these decisions together. I would feel awful if he just gave $2,000 away. Our anti-MLM. Get your wife some help before she goes down the rabbit hole too. Even if I'd somehow thought you were the asshole in this situation, it's all dissolved at the line, using her full potential. I feel like that's such an oddly common MLM phrase. I'm sorry this is happening to you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but it concerns me she didn't pay it out of her own bank account in the first place. Maybe she already emptied it on her sister's potential, and the fact she didn't ask is also kind of fishy, as in she might deep down know she's very much in the wrong kind of fishy. Info: how sure are you that it's just your Sil that makes poor financial decisions? Not the asshole. Joint ACCTS are traps, and this is exactly why. What's yours is yours and what's hers is hers. Shared bills can go to an ACCT shared, sure, but if she wants to be irresponsible and bail her also irresponsible sister out, that's not a household problem, that's a her problem, and she needs her own savings for that. I suggest you keep the joint for bills only and each get separate savings ACCTS, or at least you. Not the asshole. Your wife should have pulled money from her own personal account if she wanted to support the scam. Not the asshole. Why is your SIL getting involved in your marriage? Your wife never consulted you about giving someone that money, but also if she was going to do it, it should come out of her fun money, not the joint account. She never talked to you about possibly quitting her job, but even so she's a goddamn idiot if she takes advice from a woman who has no money. Plus she's a goddamn idiot if she thinks pyramid scheme equals millions. In terms of dealing with MLMs, you may not be able to stop her doing this, but perhaps you could ensure that she actually treats her incomings and outgoings as she would a real business. Might help her see that she's not making money to the extent that she'd lose interest. Sit down with her and calculate the volume she'd need to sell to actually replace her job income. It'll be a terrifyingly massive amount. Not the asshole, by the way. Of course she can spend her fun money on this shit, but not joint savings or bill contributions. I really don't understand how so many people are still dumb enough to fall for pyramid schemes. Raging awe and a control freak because you're refusing to allow a predatory MLM scheme take hold of your wife and your finances? Not the asshole. I cannot ever imagine a time where I would spend $2,000 on anything without consulting my spouse. Additionally, if your wife joined a MLM, she is going to continue investing large sums of money in new product every other week or so. Lastly, your SIL signed your wife up, which means that your SIL is actually earning money off of your wife's purchases. She is literally fleecing your wife for money. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. That's what the discretionary accounts are for. That SHT doesn't come out if the joint account. Wife needs to reimburse the joint account from her private account. Not the asshole, obviously. Not the asshole. MLM equals moms losing money. There will be more Venmo transfers. Not the asshole. And when you do take your 60% of the entire account plus the $1,200 you put in versus her $800 for that $2K she took without asking. Not the asshole. Point to your SIL's history and say, when has she ever made money? The only money she makes is borrowing from family and friends. Your wife and SIL are both assholes. Not the asshole. But that money is gone and you're never getting it back. Please take away her access to other joint money before it is all sucked into a stupid MLM. They prey on people like your wife and her sister and make them invest more and more so they can potentially earn thousands. It's all a giant scam and neither of them will ever even recoup their investment, never mind earn 6 figures a month.